Yo, what is up, everybody? It is me, WDMichael, and we got another YouTube video for you today. So we're going to be come back with an old YouTube series that I used to run when I was learning VGC called WDMichael Learns VGC with You. With Series 12 coming back and a lot of the new competitive teams being changed up with 2 restricted Pokemon, I wanted to come back to this series so I could learn some more of the VGC content and also play some more games with this new kind of series. So I'm really excited about this one. I've got some guests coming up for you during these WDMichael Learns VGC YouTube videos. So we're going to be learning a bunch of teams and kind of going through a bunch of teams that we may not have done beforehand. So I'm really excited about it, man. I'm excited to see what this series brings. And so without further ado, man, let's go ahead and hop on into it with DarkVGC. All right, so here we are with week 1 of WDMichael Learns VGC, where we're going to be taking some teams, learning them, playing on the ladder, and hopefully teaching you a little bit more about Series 12 Pokemon VGC and giving you a team that you can actually take on the ladder and hopefully have a little bit of success with. So this first week, we're going to be joined here with DarkVGC, who will probably be with us for a couple weeks here. So that's pretty awesome. Super excited to have you here, man. Dark, why don't you let everybody know a little bit about yourself and what you've done previously up to this point.
Awesome. So thank you for having me. Basically, I've been playing on and off for about 16 years now. I started in the card game, and I transferred over to the video game. I have top cut a few pretty big events. I got 41st at 2018 Nationals, and other than that, I think I cut like 2 regionals, something like that. Played at Worlds a bunch. And I just top cut with the Wild League number 3 with an older version of the team that we're about to show, which I originally got from Matty VGC. It's a pretty, as Michael knows, it's a pretty interesting team, I'll say.
That it is, dude.
with themes as the Hyper Beam Eleki.
It's so good. Yeah, so there's definitely some funny little changes that you've done here. I know you can talk about those.
Yeah. So I originally the Zacian had Swords Dance instead of Substitute, and the Amoonguss was Koba Berry, but I switched it to Focus Sash. I also changed the Eleki from Timid to Modest Nature because I just felt Blind Thunder wasn't hitting hard enough. So I figured we need to up that output a little bit more if we're truly going to be psycho gaming. Yeah, exactly.
Slam dunk, dude. That sounds sick, dude. Yeah, I mean,
I also made a few tiny adjustments to the Lapras spread just so it would be able to live a Behemoth Blade when Dynamax without Aurora Veil more healthily at about 29% instead of about 12%.
Okay, so
which
you have
I
a little
think
extra bulk. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, I only took about 20 or so points out of it, and it still has the same speed as before. But yeah.
Sick, dude. I love it, man. So I mean, we've got the big combo with the Zacian and the Yveltal, which has been pretty popular recently with like Series 12. And I've seen a couple teams. Obviously, Joe, a big guy who's been super into Yveltal. You cannot get him to stop playing Yveltal. He's been playing.
He really loves the
Zacian.
Bacon Bird.
He really, really does. I mean, it's popular, man. It's out. It's not a bad Pokemon. It's not like one of those Pokemon where you bring out a Mewtwo and you're like, this is probably you could probably do better. So Yveltal is actually a really solid pick. And then we come back with like some older series kind of adjustments. So like Lapras was one that we didn't really see in the last couple of seasons. So it'd be kind of interesting to see how Lapras pulls his weight in Series 12 with 2 restricted. Because, like I said, it felt like for a long time he was super prevalent, and then he kind of lost weight with the whole Kyogre push. You know what I mean? He was kind of, he was the first wet Pokemon with the Soggy Dog. You know what I mean? Like, he was the first. It
was the original Soggy Dog.
Exactly, and he kind of got forgotten. So, I mean, it'll be kind of interesting to see, like, how the original will play in with choosing a different restricted and not using Kyogre. And I mean, you got Regieleki, super big powerhouse. Kind of a tricky Pokemon because your opponent doesn't always know what kind of Eleki it is. I mean, because sometimes you get support Eleki, which will pop up every once in a while on screens.
Don't forget the physical wild charging one that's completely insane.
Right. I mean, so he's got some variations. He's kind of a cool Pokemon because he's not always a 100% like Amoonguss, where you know what you're gonna get. It's gonna be a Rage Powder and a Sleep. Like, you're going to get those. So, I mean, Regieleki is pretty cool. And then, of course, Incineroar, it's a great Pokemon to have.
We're playing VGC. It has to be there.
You can't be like, oh, wow, why Incineroar? Like, it's a great Pokemon. There's no reason not to have it on a team unless you found something better, which it's probably not going to happen. So, They're a pretty sick team, man, and I'm really excited to see how it runs. We'll play a couple games with it here, but what I do want to head and hop into is we're gonna actually go into the rental code because I want to make sure whenever we do these videos for you guys that we provide you with the PokePaste so you guys can see all the stats, and if you want to adjust them, change them however you want to, you have all the freedom to do so. And then we're also going to give you a rental code so that if you want to just hop right onto your cart, you can play the team on both Showdown or cart. So we're going to hop on over to the actual rental code, and then we'll probably talk about a couple of the opening options you could use for this team to kind of give you maybe a little bit of a heads up on how you should play the team. So we'll get over to that right now. So now that we have gone ahead and talked about the actual PokePaste for this team, we're going to go ahead and give you guys the actual rental code. So this is WDMichael Learns VGC Week 1 with DarkVGC. This is going to be our Zacian Yveltal team that DarkVGC has cooked up here and done a little bit of changes to. So Dark, why don't you go ahead and talk about a couple of these Pokemon here and some of the changes you've done and why you think this might be a little bit of a nice change in at least the best of one ranked ladder kind of a bracket that we're going to be playing with.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I brought the older version of this to top 16 with a little bit of a effort with some fun RNG. But yeah, let's talk about it. So we only have 2 attacking moves on Lapras. Normally, instead of helping in, you could run Thunder. I felt that was unnecessary, considering we already put Thunder on Eleki because, just hit the blind Thunder in the sun, 5-head. We also have Water Absorb on Lapras. It's a lighter answer to Kyogre's. It makes it so if they don't carry Thunder, they're kind of just screwed because they can only hit me with Ice Beam, and that's going to do literally like 10% max, even without Auroraville.
It'll do nothing.
Yeah, exactly. So it basically just sits there. It walls Kyogre really well. It walls Seismitoad as well. Those do carry Power Whip sometimes, which can be a little bit of an issue. So we gave it Helping Hand instead of Thunder because we have the Eleki. Helping Hand is always fun. Yeah. So Helping Hand, along with things like Behemoth Blading, just guaranteeing knockouts on Dynamax Charizard are, fun. So we don't like Charizard with this team because it just kind of screws us over. But moving on to Eleki, we went with the Electro Web, Thunder, and Hyper Beam Life Orb build, which is definitely not standard at all, in my opinion. As I said, just hit the blind Thunder and Sun 5-head, and also Hyper Beam killed a Gastrodon a few times and a Groudon, so it was kind of funny, and no one from what I've seen expects to see Hyper Beam on Eleki. Because if I look right now, oh no, actually it's at a 28% after a few times. So it's still not the most common because the most common send is Electro Web, Volt, Switch, Thunderbolt. But this is the full send at Eleki, or as I was saying the entire time, Psycho Gaming.
Right, and that's kind of fun because in a best of one kind of a tournament where we're playing in the ladder, things like this are kind of fun because it can kind of it throws your opponent off. They might be expecting one thing and you're like, you know what? You've been kind of playing with a different kind of a build for Reggie, and maybe you get out of certain situations you wouldn't have gotten out of normally. So that's kind of cool, dude. I mean, it's always fun, especially in best of one, having kind of like these little weird tricks that you kind of have up your sleeve that no one really is expecting. I like those, dude. Especially
it also gives you the out when you if it's Eleki versus Gastrodon in the end game, most people would just go, okay, well, you lose now. It's Eleki versus Gastrodon. And that's when you just smirk at them and say, no, we're different. And then you Hyper Beam them and they die and they sit there looking at you like a truck just hit them.
Exactly. And then also, if you Dynamax this Eleki, it gives you access to Max Strike. Which is kind of cool, man. I mean,
it's interesting speed control.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's cool, dude. And honestly, a Max... What is it? Max Strike with Hyper Beam from Eleki with Life Orb is not gonna feel great, dude. I mean,
it really is.
It's not gonna feel good, dude. And then, so what about the Yveltal and the Zacian here, the 2 restricted Pokemon?
Yeah, I mean, so it's a pretty standard Zacian. I went with Sacred Sword over Play Rough, and Substitute. The original one had Swords Dance. That was a little too insane for my taste, so we went with a much more safe Substitute.
Dialed it back a little bit.
Yeah, we took it back a few steps. If I actually look at it, I think this is a pretty, it's a bulkier Zacian as well. I don't remember if I mentioned that. So it's going to be able to actually live a hit, which is, something you like on Zacian because he needs to do that with more than 2 HP. Moving on to Yveltal, Joe's favorite bacon bird, as we like to call it. Yeah, exactly. It's a pretty standard Yveltal. I'm just pulling up Picolytics here to make sure. Yeah, it's the exact first 4 moves. It's assault vested. It's fat. It's bulky. Rockfall makes it laugh, and it's there to just be a pain. The amount of times that just snarl spamming has walled Kyogres and Charizards is hilarious. It does not outspeed Charizard because this one's only at 162 speed. It only goes to 166, so honestly, just snarl it. You won't die to Wildfire anyway. You don't even need to max because this thing's just so fat.
That's good.
Moving on to the Focus Sash Amoonguss. Since this is best of 1, and also the Koba Berry never really helped me in the tournament. When I played it, I literally just went to Focus Sash max speed because Psycho Gaming. No one's ready for your Amoonguss to go and spore your Gastrodon before Gastrodon gets to move, and then they just start sitting there thinking, yeah, Turbo Shroom and its return.
Let's go.
Exactly. And then you can just sit there mind gaming them the entire time because this thing, as we know with the Focus Sash, it will not die to 1 Ice Beam. It doesn't even go down to Sash, I'm pretty sure.
Oof.
Yeah, it's fat. Moving on to the VGC Pokemon himself, it's Incineroar. We went with Taunt over Darkest Lariat, but I mean, we just need Taunt because with the increase in things like Calyrex and other Trick Room Pokemon.
P2, man. P2's been good.
Yeah, exactly. And P2, I feel you just need something with Taunt that's not Prankster as well.
Right,
because, if you're taunting, like, if Indeedee Hat ever comes back, which it won't, hopefully, because we have actual real Pokemon to use Trick Room now. We don't have to think about that. Yeah, but other than that, it's a pretty basic Incineroar. And yeah,
sick, dude.
Some leads real quick. I mean, I only ever lead really Lapras Eleki or Lapras Incineroar. I think one time, not even in the tournament, I went Lapras Amoonguss, and I just lost that game horribly. So, I mean, honestly, just go Lapras Eleki or Lapras Incineroar. You could either Electro Web them and max guard turn 1 if you're against, like, Zapdosation, so you can, guarantee a speed drop and that your Lapras will just go before the Zapdos after the second Electro Web on turn 1. That's, provided they aren't targeting you. Or you can just go Lapras Incineroar, which is definitely the safer one against, like, Zacian Zapdos, because then you just fake out Zacian, hit the Reconnaissance into Zapdos, and then you just can Flare Blitz the Zacian and it'll go down. Because, it's at -1. Even Behemoth Blade won't take out anything, or Sacred Sword won't take out Incin at that point. So just go Lapras Incin or Lapras Eleki. There's one strange matchup where it's like stall versus stall. If your opponent, if you see like Grimmsnarl Zapdos and it's like, stalling Zapdos with Eerie Impulse and trash like that. But honestly, versus that, I'd honestly just probably still go Lapras with like Incineroar or something.
Right, yeah, so I mean, it seems like that Incineroar fake out is just super crucial. I think Lapras has some bulk, but there's a lot of times, especially now in this meta, where if you take one Pokemon that was really good into Lapras, like a Regieleki and a Rillaboom, and you match up with Zacian, that Lapras isn't going to live. That was kind of the biggest problem coming into this. So I think having the Incin fake out will help with cutting that damage into half, making it so your Lapras gets the screens up, giving you a chance to actually use that kind of a trick that you're trying to get done with this. So, that's a pretty sick one. Yeah. One thing I'm curious about, guys, I've been sitting here thinking, how often do you think you'd ever go Amoonguss Regieleki to open a match?
I've only ever brought Amoonguss once with this team. I immediately did not bring him ever again after that game. I don't think I'd ever go Amoonguss Eleki. It just sounds really weird. Unless they're playing dedicated Trick Room, I'm not even gonna go it. I mean, if they're playing dedicated Trick Room, I might go Lapras Amoonguss or something like that.
Okay.
Or Incin Amoonguss, because there's no Volt Switch on Eleki. If you're slowing your opponent's Pokemon for them to Trick Room, it's just kind of sad. And Thunder and Hyper Beam won't really be killing anything that's setting Trick Room. So your best bet against Trick Room would probably be Lapras Amoonguss or Incin Amoonguss, honestly.
And just kind of starting to like hold off and stall out a little bit.
Exactly.
Yeah. For sure.
Just sit there and just make a pain out of yourself, and just say, hey, we're playing the stall game too. This is my really weird Amoongus. He's faster than my Incineroar.
Right? Hey, hang out with my mushroom a little bit, dude, while you play with your trick room.
Yeah, right.
Oh, that's good, dude. All right, man. So, sick team. Let's go ahead and we'll hop on over to the ranked ladder where we'll actually take this rental team and play a couple of matches on the ranked ladder and see kind of what we can do with it. So let's hop on over to that now.
Let's do it.
So we have a pretty interesting one, man. Porygon Z, Tapu Lele, Reshiramization.
If you bring Incin or Amoongus, you want to lose the game.
This is, I mean, this is a very, very interesting team. I won't even lie, man. This is very unique. I haven't seen a team like this in my entire time playing a ladder. I want to say, as far as Lapras goes, I don't really see a ton of Pokemon that are just going to dumpster it other than the Zacian, and I think that's to the point where I almost want to say Eleki. Like Lapras, Eleki, and then Zacian Yveltal. What do you think?
Exactly what I would do.
Same thing?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, dude. Let's do it up. And we're not bringing the Amoonguss or Incineroar due to the fact that we are going to be dealing with Psychic Terrain, more than likely, I'm guessing. So, there is
We also like
that
winning.
issue. Right? The good old winning is always it's always usually pretty nice. But I mean, this is always a cool team, man. I've played a lot of my Twitch streams were played late at night, and obviously this gets out of the United States time zone. We start getting the Japanese time zone, and man, I swear these Japanese players, they come out with some very interesting teams. This is a lot of what I end up seeing when I'm playing at night. So this is a cool one, man. So we've got the Tapu Lele, which is a good chance to be scarfed, if I'm not mistaken.
Not always.
So, this should be an interesting one, to say the least.
Did we see if it's seed or not? If Lele's seed?
I didn't see a Lele seed.
Okay. Yeah, so it's scarfed.
No.
Good news. Doesn't outspeed Eleki still. So we're just gonna go Reconnaissance into the Lele and hit Electroweb.
So the Reconnaissance, I mean, obviously it's not going to do a lot of damage to the Reshiram, so there's really no reason to try to even dump that into there. And then we use the Electroweb to kind of just lessen the speed advantage that they currently have against us.
Mm.
Because this should be a Reshiram Dynamax. It'd be really weird if this was Lele. Okay, so we get a Reshiram Dynamax. Reshiram does know Solar Beam.
Oh no.
So we have what? Reshiram, a Solar Beam, possibly a Fire move, maybe an Earth Power.
No, it's gotta be Dragon move. It's not gonna be Solar Beam. There's no way.
I've ran a Reshiram with Solar Beam before. It's been done, okay?
It's Earth Power. It's Draco, Earth Power, Blue Flare, Protect. Solar Beam is at a 5% usage, below Shadow Ball.
Oh my goodness. Alright, so we get the Electro off. Not bad, not bad. We get that speed drop, which is, I mean, literally the only reason why you use this move, so.
Sunny Day.
Sunny Day. Not
Okay.
bad, not bad.
Okay, this is strange. I guess we're banking on the fact that Blue Flare is going to nuke Lapras here. Oh, yes, we are. That's funny, Chief.
Do half.
You can definitely see that this person's decided to use all of their brain cells today.
So we almost lose the Tapu Lele, not quite. Very close.
We can just hit Electroweb again.
The Reshiram did not do a lot of damage, and now that we have the Veil up, it's going to do arguably even less damage.
Yeah, honestly, it's time to just start hitting Max Geyser on Reshiram and hitting Electroweb spam. We're at that point in the game where the fun has been removed because they're playing this.
The only Pokemon that'll resist it would be a Landorus.
Right. And even if he switches in, like, it's funny. Yep. So here's
we
that.
lose the Lele.
That's fine. Here's Landorus.
Yep.
What a surprise. You see,
So
the funny
we're
part
still
is,
getting this speed drop.
yeah, it's not a big deal because we still get the we get Electroweb, and now Lapras is moving first before the Reshiram.
That would be very nice. And no more Sunny Day.
I'm pretty sure. Yep, there we go. So yeah, now Reshiram's significantly a decent chunk below. And now that's going to do nothing, but that's alright, because now we can literally just Reconnaissance the Landorus.
Right.
Because this move is going to do so... It's Strike.
What would be a max strike on Reshiram?
That would be,
Hyper Beam?
A move I don't know. Because it's not on the list. Just bring in Yveltal. And remember that fun play we were doing last game where we were pressing Snarl?
Snarl.
It's time to hit Snarl and Reconnaissance.
Yeah, as I said, I think it's just Reconnaissance into the old Landorus, because no matter what they swap into in that slot, it's not going to like it. I mean, they've got Zacian. It's Zacian in that slot. So, I mean, Zacian could eat that up pretty well. But if they swap into Lele, it dies. Landorus dies. It
Dude,
stays in.
it's not even Hyper Beam. It's Hyper Voice.
Hyper Voice? So weird.
Right? Oh my god.
That is such a weird set for Reshiram. I was not even remotely expecting a Hyper Voice Reshiram, let alone a Reshiram. But
right. I mean, I ran it in Series 11 when we only were allowed one restricted. It was good, I thought.
I think I took the Reshiram into the... What was it? There was some goofy tournament where you could bring a restricted Pokemon a long time ago before they just announced Series 11. And I think I brought Reshiram, which was fun.
Okay, cool. He just wants to lose the game now.
Okay, so Lele goes down easy. No problems there. It just dies. Reshiram loses. Another special attack will also be in the range. You get a maximum.
This one is brave, all right. It's a brave player right here. We're running Hyper Voice Reshiram. It's either Hyper Voice or Facade. I shit you not.
That is insane. Yeah, so that dragon move didn't really do a lot. So one, he was dropped down from the special attack boost, so it didn't do much damage. But also the effect of it, because the dragon move drops attack, it's not going to really affect us to the point where we're going to notice any changes.
I think he thought that was his best option, and now the Zacian's back, which is funny. Because our favorite move now is to and hear me out here, hit Hydro Pump Foul Play on Zacian.
Yeah, so I forgot who we brought in the back. Who did we bring in the back again?
Our Zacian.
It was our Zacian. Okay.
Yeah. So literally just hit Hydro Pump and Foul Play Zacian. It's gonna be funny.
Because I mean, what's the Reshiram gonna do?
Nothing. It's
Nothing.
Significantly useless at this point.
Yeah, it's really.
We're behind Veil. It's raining. It's not Dynamaxed. It does not matter that this is not very effective. It is at +1, and unless that thing has Play Rough, which won't even kill, we're gonna be fine.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like we're in a pretty decent spot here where we're at in these turns. Both Dynamaxes are down.
Oh, and here we go. We get the free fun. We get the free one because he thinks we're gonna be stupid or something, I guess.
Honestly, I think the only thing here that they're hoping for is that they get a knockout either on the Yveltal or the Lapras.
Behemoth
Which
Blade,
I'm guessing is the Lapras?
Probably.
Yeah. Does this kill that? Yeah, it kills that. I was ready. Oh!
Nope, you live at 1 HP.
He lived at 1!
I'm telling you, dude, it's such a good Pokemon.
Go!
And look at how much Foul Play does.
No
Hit it.
way, and we get the
Let's go!
Rain at 1 HP. Let's go. How fantastic.
I told you, dude, my adjustments were god tier.
That was so good, man. I mean, Pokemon is all about RNG. Things happen, man. You get freezes, paralysis, burns. You get crits, all sorts of stuff. Living on 1 HP is just one of those things, man. Sometimes it just happens, man, and it changes the game real quick.
It really does.
Really
At this point, we're just gonna helping hand Snarl again.
Yeah, because I mean, anything. I mean, we can protect and we'll live one more turn. I mean, that's one option, but then
No
Any other of
point.
our attacking
Lapras
moves,
has done its job.
all of our attacking moves are not going to do anything because we're not going to actually get one off.
Yeah.
Unless we get some sort of crazy RNG help. So I think helping end is definitely a solid move.
Yeah, Lapras has already done the great majority of its job, and now Landorus is going to take an absolute ton from this.
Yeah, this is going to hurt. As long as it hits. Oh, no,
Yeah,
see,
see?
you know what? Is that AV?
It's AV.
No?
That's fine.
Yeah,
Here's Rock Slide.
That's a very AV.
And we avoided, and now Lapras lives another turn. And now we can do the same move yet again.
Lapras, you absolute champion.
This is a great one. I'm so glad this is our game.
I think what's going to end up having to happen here is that we're going to have to name an MVP every time we do one of these each week, and I think
it's Lapras.
I think we know our week 1 MVP, man. That was insane, Lapras. Let's go. Dodging rock slides, living at 1 HP, changing the game in our favor. Let's go, buddy. Sheesh. So
Draco Meteor.
Minus
what? -1 Draco Meteor. Through Assault Vest and Screens.
Oh,
that's hilarious.
We've already hit him once. I think
Yeah.
before that.
And now this Reshiram's actually just useless. Here's Rock Slide. It actually hits both. And that's a crit. This is fine.
Got the crit on the
it doesn't, dude. It doesn't matter, dude. It doesn't matter. That is a -3 Reshiram. Just come out and Behemoth Blade the Landorus, and we win.
I think he's -4. I'm gonna call -4 right now.
Win. This is an easy win. We do not have to press anything but Behemoth Blade Landorus because that thing is at half HP, and we need to kill it now.
Murder Landorus now. Absolute dumpster. I'm gonna check.
I do need you to check the Reshiram though. Yeah.
Let's check this bad boy out.
Oh, this is so free. It doesn't even matter because we live this.
Keep hitting the wrong buttons.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
I thought it
That's
was
fine.
4.
Do we still wait? See if we have Aurora Veil. I think we still have Veil up. Yeah, 2 turns. Easy. Behemoth Blade the Landorus, please.
No way we lose this. If we do and he gets some sort of weird crit and we lose,
He doesn't have Protect, it's AV. It's confirmed.
Yep,
GG.
we can't protect, so that thing's out.
Yep.
I mean, that's honestly, that's one of those things when you play VGC enough and you start learning certain things about certain Pokemon, like right there when we knew that Landorus had AV just due to the amount of damage.
We avoided Blue Flare.
Did he really miss? Oh, now I feel bad. Okay, there's been a lot of RNG in our favor.
Just press Sacred Sword.
I enjoy getting wins, but wow. Sometimes Pokemon can be brutal, dude. Sometimes Pokemon can be really brutal. Our opponent faced that, and it was just... That wasn't in our favor. It was a really good match, man. Absolutely solid gaming moment, and a really cool team from opponent. I really love that. I love the fact with the best of 1 gaming, you get a lot of really cool teams, man. Because best of 3, you get a lot of really consistent teams. Best of 1, you get those really crazy teams. That's what we saw. So that was really cool, and I'm glad we got the dub on that one because that was a lot of fun.
Exactly.
Like MVP of the match, 100% goes to that Lapras. That was fantastic, man. No way. Living on 1 HP, dodging a rock slide, getting the Hydro Pump, doing damage. I mean, that was just... He went above and beyond what he could have done to help our team win that match. That was crazy, dude.
Oh, God, dude.
But yeah, man. Thank you, dude. I appreciate it. It was a lot of fun to run the team. It was definitely a lot of help to be able to, think about what I wanted to do and then also get an idea of like, hey, maybe you should do this. So it's always nice to get that extra little bit of knowledge on top of what I'm already trying to do. So I appreciate it, man. Hopefully everybody at home watching this video got a little bit of extra help with, one, getting a team that they could use, learning a little bit about a Pokepace and kind of some of the information in the Pokepace and how to kind of go through it. Seeing how we built this team, some of the changes we made and how they were beneficial. Seeing us actually go into a match, getting some information on how we wanted to play the team, and also maybe some changes on what we were thinking as from another point of view. So hopefully this all was helpful to you. You get that rental code. Go ahead and hop on the ladder. Let us know what you did in the ranked ladder down below in the comments. Would really, really appreciate it. And if you like this kind of content, please make sure you hit that subscribe button and make sure those notifications are, because there will be a ton of content coming to this YouTube channel this year, from VGC content, Pokemon TCG to tournaments, all sorts of stuff will be coming. So keep your eyes posted. And Dark, where can they find you, gamer, at the coaching center down there at the bottom?
Okay, so Michael's probably going to link this in the description because that'll just make it really easy.
Absolutely.
My Twitch is SU_hope, and that's just where I stream. You know, once every 6 months or so, something like that.
Nice.
Yeah, right. And then Twitter's probably my best way to get in touch with me. It's SU_hope LOL. Because I play League of Legends for my college. So if you have any questions, want to send me a question, just want any general advice, feel free to reach on out. It's probably the easiest way to reach me.
Awesome, man. Well, this has been episode 1. I guess not really necessarily episode 1, but episode 1 of series 12. WDMichael learns VGC with DarkVGC, our awesome coach here, who's coming to hang out and give us a little bit of help and knowledge from his expertise in the Pokemon VGC community. So I really do appreciate it, man. It's been a lot of fun. Like I said, guys, make sure you take that rental code, go out and get some games, and if you like content, come back, because there'll be another one next week with a different team, and we will go ahead and do the exact same thing and kind of go through it, give you some knowledge, and hopefully get you a little bit more experience in the Pokemon VGC community. So thank you all. I really do appreciate it. It's been a lot of fun. And without further ado, man, peace. Later.
Have a good one.